So I'm Emma Allison, co-author support specialist. I'm an indie author, about 9 years publishing, over 100 titles-ish. I've forgotten a whole lot of pen names, though Emma Allison is the primary pen name right now. The nonfiction I've done was coloring books. I kind of dabbled in that when that craze a couple of years ago swept the indie author community, so that's me in a nutshell. So BookFunnel for nonfiction authors. What we're going to go over are some fun facts and stats, some challenges for nonfiction authors, establishing your credibility, growing your audience, and direct sales for maximizing profits. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to go through the whole presentation first, and I'm going to talk about the tools BookFunnel has that can help you with all of these. And then at the end, I'm going to demo all the different landing pages and things. And I think that's a better format because then if you need me to slow down or get behind the nuts and bolts, then we can go ahead and do that. So dinner first and then dessert. All right. So fun facts. The global nonfiction market is generating approximately $16 billion a year, and that's forecasted to increase to $17 billion by 2029. So folks, there is money to be made. And in 2022, adult nonfiction was the most popular book category in the US. And Atomic Habits, you may have heard of it, is doing terribly. It's only been on the Amazon most sold chart at #1 for 259 weeks. And fun fact, if you want to know, the 11th one, place 11, is The Subtle Art of Not Giving a, and it's been there, I think it was 236 weeks. So I thought that was impressive too. But anyway, terrible. They're obviously making no money. All right, so some of the challenges for nonfiction authors. One is credibility and authority. So in fiction, I can make stuff up. You can't do that in nonfiction. Readers expect nonfiction authors to be authorities on their subjects. That goes even if you are your subject, say you write memoirs, they'll want you to be an expertise in communication and the human experience. So whenever you're putting yourself out there as a brand, you're building a platform, there is a certain amount of expectation there that you know what you're talking about. And then next, marketing and discoverability. Nonfiction is problem-based rather than genre-driven. Readers in fiction can search by recommendations, readers groups, keywords. Nonfiction is a little bit more laser focused. So you may not have that word of mouth quite as robust as you do with fiction, and that can be challenging when trying to target your audience. And then limited repeat readerships. Nonfiction, you're solving a problem. A reader comes to you, you solve their problem, they may not return. So you need to keep that in mind. How can you further monetize your platform? What can you help them do after the problem is solved? So that's something to keep in mind. Fiction, we have natural funnels, one book after another, but nonfiction, you have to be a little more strategic about that and branch out into different products. And we can go over that later too. Higher production costs. In nonfiction, you have research, citations, design, formatting, especially some of you who have like images and charts, and then you go and you have these beautiful Adobe InDesign spreads. That's really complicated and it can get really expensive. Fiction, I can just throw my stuff in Vellum and walk away in 5 minutes. So you may not necessarily be able to do that if your platform is medical based or research based or educational based. And then updating content. So trends shift with nonfiction, and then new research comes out, especially if you're in like the medical field, the nutritional field, anything like that that's based off of data and research. When new stuff comes out, you have to update your editions. So that is one challenge. I mean, as a fiction author, I can go back all the time, and I do, and re-edit, pull stuff down, re-edit, but it's not the same thing. That's just a preference, not a necessity. With nonfiction, it's a necessity that you keep up because it goes back to credibility. Now, why credibility matters? We mentioned that readers expect expertise, authority, and without trust, your book won't convert readers into long-term customers. So once you get them in your funnel, if you want to continue monetizing your platform, bringing them into your brand, building trust, building a relationship with them, they have to know that you're someone who understands the subject matter that you are promoting to them. How to build credibility. You highlight your credentials and your experience, your professional background, your degrees. If you're a travel blogger, you might want to actually do some traveling, touch grass, not just Google and shots on Instagram. If I come up with any more examples, I'll let you know. But hobbies. Yeah, even with like hobbies and things like that. Like if you're a knitter or an artist, they want you to know that you have some training in it. Or I mean, even with knitting, you don't have to have formal training, but they still want to see some type of expertise there. They're coming to you to teach them, and not just teach them, but sometimes they just want to enjoy Like I used when the coloring book craze came up, I would spend hours just watching YouTube videos of people doing these wonderful fancy coloring spreads. And I knew I was never going to do that. Like I'm not going to get all that shading, but it was wonderful watching it. So, and I bought a couple coloring books off of those. So that can work. Now, you also need to engage in thought leadership. So written content, audiovisual content online and in person, that's like blogging, podcasts, guest appearances. And I'm going to remind myself to talk about podcasts a little bit more when we go over short audio. And then showcase social proof. So testimonials, case studies, media features, reviews from other authors, and when we get to the landing page section, I'll also show you how you can embed some of that social proof on your landing pages. And then maintain a polished and professional aesthetic. And you want to think about your brand here when you're building your aesthetic. Think about the emotions you're trying to convey to your reader, the key words. So when you're pulling them in, that's all cohesive. Now, BookFunnel has tools to build credibility. I've mentioned the branded landing pages, and we're going to talk about custom themes. They're really easy to set up. You can add a logo, pull in colors from your book cover. So we're going to talk about that. I'm going to demo how to do that too. And then you can sell premium content and courses alongside your books through your own website. And we have a couple ways you can do that with direct sales, delivery actions. And then we also have bundle landing pages, which I will show you, where you can gather together your different email sign-up landing pages, your universal book link landing pages. And I'll mention briefly how you can sell directly through your universal book landing page if you don't have a website set up yet. So there are some ways to do that if you're just getting started. And then BookFunnel tools can also help you get reviews. We have newsletter builders, and we're rolling out kind of a new tweaked newsletter builder specifically for ARCs. And that's where you just change the verbiage of the landing page a bit and you let the readers know that they're coming to your ARC team. And I'll show you one of those too, because the look of the landing page is a little bit different. And then we have certified mail. I just want to mention our certified mail, where you can deliver ARCs securely to your readers, and that's a wonderful feature. And growing your audience. So email. All right, so social media. We all know social media is unpredictable. An email list is an asset you control. You have to pay to play on social media. The pay to play goes up seasonally and according to world events. Certain platforms that shall not be named are constantly changing their algorithms or changing what content they will and will not allow. So it can make targeting really challenging. My preference as a fiction author is to email market straight to my newsletter, because once I have that reader on my newsletter, I can sell to them to my heart's content. But you can run ads directly to UBL, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. But email subscribers convert at 4 times the rate of social media followers. And that makes sense because they had to opt into your platform. You can develop a more personal relationship with them depending on how you craft your content. And since we're talking about email, I should talk a little bit about Substack. A lot of nonfiction authors like Substack. It's one of the paid newsletter options. You can have a free tier, but with Substack, the retention rate of paid subscribers is much higher than the free tier, which makes sense because if people are paying you for your content, then they want it. The thing about Substack, but with email marketing in general, is you have to be consistent. Whether your consistency is once a month or once a week, you need to be consistent. You need to have a plan for your content. I mean, even if your plan is chaos, and I'm gonna fully admit that sometimes my plan is just to sit down on Friday and talk to my readers about whatever I feel like talking to them about, that's still kind of a plan. But you want to go ahead and be deliberate in how you are crafting your newsletter. And we'll talk about sequences too when we get more into newsletter promos. Now, lead magnets that work for nonfiction. So there are a couple different ones. And Jack has a webinar he recently did called 5 Reader Magnets Everybody Should Have. Something like that. And it's highly applicable for nonfiction. And he goes into each type of one and its use cases in that webinar. And it is on YouTube. And I'll show you where you can get that in a minute. But lead magnets, free ebooks, workbooks, PDF guides, video series, short audio, exclusive reports. Now, BookFunnel can deliver PDFs. We can deliver EPUB, and we can deliver short audio and audiobooks. Video, not quite so much yet, though there are some workarounds, and I will show you how on the bestseller landing page, we recently tweaked that to add some new goodies. So there's a way you could cross-promote your video content using our landing pages too. So for example, a lead magnet you could have is if you're a personal finance author, you could offer a 5-day budgeting challenge. If you're a mommy blogger, you can offer what do they call it? Budgets, written budgets, recipe books. If you're a crafter, what do they call knitting plans? Patterns. They call them patterns. I knew there was a word for it. If you're a crafter, they could do patterns. So there's different things you can do. Coloring sheets, additional bonus material. Not all reader magnets, which is the point. Not all reader magnets have to be a full book or even a book at all. And this is especially relevant if you're just getting started and maybe you don't have as much content. You can think a little more creatively in nonfiction about what you're offering as your reader magnet, especially if you are building your platform pre-launch. So, and I highly encourage to build your platform pre-launch. Even if you're still writing the book, there are things you can do. You have your reader magnets to tease readers into your platform. Short audio is great, even if you don't have your book yet, because you can record short audio. You just need a good microphone, a headset somewhere quiet. I'm in my living room. It might not be as quiet soon if my dog barks, but you could set up something like this and create videos, short audios that go into podcasts, and that could be content you are sending out while you are writing your book. And the great thing about that, especially if your short audio is not just Emma spitballing, but you actually have a plan, is you can take that short audio, run it through a transcript, and then turn it into posts. And then those posts can become your reader magnet because now it's a written content. So one thing you want to mention, especially in nonfiction, is you want everything to do double and triple duty. So if you have a blog post, what can you do with that blog post? If you have a book, can you chop it up and narrate it? Crafting, I'm going to admit crafting, I don't have quite as many ideas because it seems kind of cut and dry, but I would definitely do videos with crafting too, because that's how people get me into their funnels, by selling me the dream that one day I too can draw. I'm not going to learn how to draw, but they sell me the dream, and so they get my money. And that's part of being a nonfiction author as well. You're solving a problem, you're offering a service, you're selling a dream. So sell your dream. Now, BookFunnel features to grow your audience. We have group promos and we have author swaps, and you can cross promote with similar authors in your niche. Now, group promos, it is a whole bunch of authors who get together around a general topic, a general genre rather, and then they all send their readers within like a 30-day period. You can do shorter periods if you want, but within usually typically a 30-day period to a shared landing page. Those readers can view all the books available. I like group promos because there's a lot of traffic coming there versus an author swap. And then you can kind of seed your audience a bit more, cross-seed your audience a bit more. One thing about nonfiction group promos is the pool may be a bit smaller, especially if you're a niche nonfiction person. See what fiction correlates with your nonfiction. And we're going to have a wonderful, wonderful podcast coming up soon about that. Maybe we'll put it in the show notes. But if you have, and I recently saw a promo actually, so I'm not just making this up. I saw a promo the other day on the group promo board, beautiful banner. And the categories were women's fiction and nonfiction. And at first I was like, why are they miscatting? But no, they weren't. Because what they were doing is cross-seeding the audience. So they know they're going to have fewer, if you're a nonfiction author, you know you have fewer authors in your niche. Maybe I keep using the thing knitting because that's what I memorized. So you have few knitting authors in your niche to advertise to, but cozy fiction readers, they knit. So maybe you can include cozy fiction readers in your nonfiction promo, especially if one of your reader magnets is like patterns or things like that. Or if the cozy mystery or the romance is centered around food or bakery, maybe you have recipes. So there could be some cross-seeding there. And you could get together with other fiction authors and do this deliberately, because as a fiction author myself, if I had nonfiction authors in my group promo who were offering these kind of goodies, I would absolutely promote the heck out of that, because that's something new I can present to my newsletter list. You're not just getting books, you're going to get coloring pages, you're going to get patterns, you're going to get recipes. So think about different creative ways you can kind of cross-seed your audience there, especially if you also write fiction. Author swaps are more one-on-one. I like to think of this as a way to target another author's audience specifically because they write really close to what you write. I like author swaps a lot when I'm launching a book. And I think this is highly applicable to nonfiction too, because especially if you're on Amazon, even if you're wide, but you want to get the right also bots, you want to juice up the algorithm. So author swaps can be really great to tell Amazon that my book is like this book, and these are the readers I want. And then author swap, there can be a bit more exclusivity. So you can agree that their book will be Or it doesn't have to be a book, it could be a course. And I'll show you guys later how you can like use the UBLs to advertise courses and things like that. So don't think BookFunnel is just for advertising books. You can do everything. But with author swaps, your content can be exclusive in their newsletter. Their content can be exclusive in your newsletter. That's a choice you both can make. And again, really great for launching. And then if you have like a massive one-time promo, you get a book bub, or even if you're just making your own faux book bub. I like my faux book bubs where, we all know, fiction authors especially, you gather together all of the different vendors, you book them all in one time, and then you do a lot of author swaps. And I think with nonfiction, author swaps are going to be even more key because there's a smaller pool. So that's something to keep in mind. Newsletter integrations. Now, I'm talking a lot about ARCs and newsletters and email lists. BookFunnel offers newsletter integrations, and what that means is that you can hook your mailing list service if we support the service, like MailerLite, Flowdesk. I love Flowdesk, MailChimp. So if you have one of those platforms, and there are a lot more, if a reader claims your book on an email sign-up landing page, the integration will send that email straight to the group that you designate on your mailing service. So you don't have to export and import the CSV. It's just done for you. This is especially wonderful if you have automation sequences set up. A welcome sequence, you have to have a welcome sequence. Even if you start out, listen, and I'm saying this as somebody who's spent the last 3 months gutting her welcome sequences and redoing them from scratch because Jack made me do it. And so I had 9 years of content and stuff to work through and develop and really think about, thoughtfully about. So I'm in the process of doing that, and I'm really enjoying the process. But if you're just starting out, do it right the first time. I'd rather you do it right and slow than try to do everything at once. And this is another reason why BookFunnel landing pages are really good. So if you don't have a website set up, if your infrastructure is minimal, we can get our landing pages and our tools give you a professional, potentially branded infrastructure that is really easy to set up. And then we support you too. So we're always there if you have questions or anything like that. You don't just sign up and we leave you out to dry. You can email Jamie, and Jamie will help walk you through everything. So newsletter integrations, I went off on the garden path. So you can do that for your ARC team with an ARC landing page, and then you will have a sequence for your ARC team. And then you can do that with your general email list, and then have a sequence for that too. And again, if you don't have a sequence, that was what I was going to say. Don't be intimidated by sequences. I have a couple, and I'm guilty of this when I'm launching a book, and I've launched so many at this point. It's like your first baby, you're all particular and prissy about the first baby, but by the time you have 5, you're like, So if you don't have a lot of time, or you don't have a lot of energy, or you're uncertain, just do one email, the welcome email. Like, hey, I'm glad you signed up. Here's the link to my book again, maybe some link to some bonus content. I like to give them some extra content like wallpaper or coloring pages. I have a couple of coloring books I did myself from a couple of years ago. And then let them know, hey, more stuff is coming, more goodies are coming, hang around with me. And this is also where you can, if you just have a 1 or 2 email sequence, this is also where you can start to funnel them to some of your audio platforms, especially if you're a more audiovisual person. I can understand how some of us aren't really into email newsletter marketing. And when you're building your platform, you really want to consider that too. What do you like to do? Because whatever you like to do, whether it's TikTok, whether it's Facebook, whether it's Instagram, whether it's podcasting, whether it's newsletters, whatever you want to do, consistency is key. And you really want to dive into that and perfect it, because readers can tell. They can tell when it's fly by night, and they can tell when you're being authentic and putting work in. But since it's a lot of work, pick the one you like the most. I am not a TikTok girly. I have hired out people to do my narration for my TikToks. I have several books with videos already done. I have posted none of them because I am just not a TikTok girly, but I love my newsletter. So when Jack started to tell me, hey, go redo your newsletter a couple months ago, I was like, yeah, that's kind of fun. And I can put a lot of energy into that because I like it. So that's the whole point. Going into building your platform and everything, pick what you like to do naturally, because it's like getting married. You're going to be spending a lot of time with your platform. So build it up the way you want it to continue. And then high converting landing pages. You can use your BookFunnel landing pages in paid ads. So You can send them from BookBub, from Facebook, pretty much anywhere you can send them to a BookFunnel landing page. And the thing about our landing pages are, they are designed to convert. So sometimes I see a la carte landing pages and there's a bunch of stuff and the button's in the wrong place. And I critiqued or gave my opinion of a landing page from an author several weeks ago, and beautiful cover, beautiful colors, but going to the landing page, I didn't know really what it was for. It was kind of muddied. And then I had to keep scrolling down and he lost my interest. So you've got about 3 seconds to capture your reader's interest, like pretend they have the attention span of a caffeinated gnat and act accordingly. So the BookFunnel landing pages, they come, they see the book, they see the book cover, they see the button with the call to action. The standard call to action is get my book, but you can change that, especially if you're sending them to a course or a video. They know exactly what they're supposed to do. Click the button. There's no confusion. There's no like, what am I doing here? Why am I here? Click the button. And then below that, you'll have like the blurb, any other information provided, embedded images. If you have a bestseller plan, you can do that as well. And then the other thing I don't think we talk about a lot with the BookFunnel landing pages is the load time. And it goes back to attention span. BookFunnel landing pages load like that. I have never, no matter what device I'm on, and I have some old devices that I cuss at on a daily basis, including one sitting next to me right now. And the BookFunnel landing pages still load immediately versus my website. And I have a nice website. It's set up well. I spent some money on it, but for whatever reason, it can be about a 3-second load, 3 to 4 second load on some of my landing pages there. And I have a little bit of concern that 3-second load, they might nope out. Because attention span. So I've started sending a while ago. I started really focusing on sending readers cold traffic specifically. Once it's warm traffic, they'll give you a little more leeway because they like you. They like your stuff, so you have more leeway. But cold traffic, you want to get them into the landing page as fast as possible. You want to get their email as fast as possible. You don't want to give them too much to look at because you want to take the email and run. Take the email and run. And if you're ever confused about what you should do, should I promote my book to sell? Should I promote my newsletter? Do the newsletter. The newsletter can do double duty. If you're promoting just to sell, they go and buy your stuff, and then you have to hope that they sign up for your newsletter in the back matter. So again, you can do both, but if you have a limited budget, limited time, send your ads to your newsletter. Because again, and I mentioned this before, once you have their email, you can then market to them at will. You can all of your different books, all of your different products, different sequences. So that's something to keep in mind. Now, maximizing revenue with direct sales. And this is the fun part. And we'll loop like Kickstarters and things like that into direct sales. Why direct sales matter for nonfiction authors? Well, it increases your profits by removing the middleman. It's just you. And something to note is BookFunnel we're not a sales platform. We're a delivery platform. We provide tools to deliver your book and tools to help promote your book. We don't take any of your profits. We don't take percentage. All you pay us is the monthly or annual fee for your plan. And I should mention though, part of me doesn't want to mention it, but the first time author plan, the free plan, is $20 a year. With the first time author plan, you get access right now at this time, you get access to direct sales, and then you get full access to group promos and author swaps. So if you're not quite sure if BookFunnel is right for you, $20, come in, play around, set up, your direct sales to sell 1 or 2 products, see what the funnel is like, join a couple of group promos. You can get your money back within 30 days, but it's $20. That introductory plan, I also recommend a lot for authors who are still in the process of writing their first book or building up their platform, because then you can build some infrastructure, set it and get it, and be building your platform while you're still ramping up. And then low cost, $20. Come on. So you own your audience. And again, you're building relationships without relying on retailers. And there are no exclusivity restrictions. So you can sell while you're staying wide on Amazon, Apple, and Kobo. So direct sales is great for that. Maximizing direct sales with BookFunnel. So of course, ebooks and audiobooks, we all know about that. Full audiobooks and short audio. You can also offer exclusive editions and bonuses, so sell special versions only available in your store. And once again, this is another way where, especially emerging platforms, you can think a little more creatively. You don't have to have all the bells and whistles. Your special edition can be your signed hardback and then maybe a bookmark or some of your printed bonus material. So just get started. Trust me, the reader will be impressed with something versus nothing. Okay. And so, I mean, especially if they're a reader, like I buy direct signed hardbacks and paperbacks all the time. I have a whole shelf. So it doesn't always have to be fancy, sprayed edges, all of that other stuff, but you can if you have exclusive bonus content to offer. So you can sell those through your store, and then you can bundle digital products. So with the delivery actions, we call them delivery actions, you can set it up so that the customer can purchase a bundle, like say your audiobook, your paperback, and your ebook all at the same time through the same transaction. And then we'll automatically deliver the ebook and the audiobook portion. You're responsible for the print version, of course, but you can do that. So you can sell bundles. And then we also have a bundle landing page where you can also gather together your UBLs and your email sign up landing pages. And that's good too if you don't have a website set up. And again, I'm going to demo that at the end. And then universal book links. These were once called sales landing pages. And then the wizard waved the wand. Thank you. And I've been obsessed ever since, just obsessed. Universal book links allow you to input all of your links to all of your retailers. There's even a couple custom text fields. There's a text field for BookFunnel if you want to cross promote something on BookFunnel. There's a text field and an icon for YouTube, for Spotify. Everything is there. Okay. I don't think Damon forgot a single platform. Maybe I should put the challenge out. Did David forget a platform challenge? We'll see. I hope he doesn't come for me. But anyway, they're all there and they're gorgeous. And then you have the button for all on the same page for ebook, for audiobook, and for print. But again, you are labeling and personalizing your landing page however you want. So that button that says ebook by default can say course. The second button can say special edition. The third button can say come see me in my studio. So you could be promoting different things, and that's especially relevant with nonfiction when you're branching out to different products, especially like courses and in-person seminars and things like that. So seamless ebook and audiobook delivery. We automatically send the purchases to the reader. As soon as they make the purchase, we place the book right in their BookFunnel reader library. If they don't have a library, one is made for them. That's no problem. And then they just log in and create an email, create a password. The book is also emailed to them, so they'll get a delivery email with a link, and then the book will also be placed in their BookFunnel library in case they lose the delivery email. You can be like, just go log into your library. So that's something to think about. And while I'm talking about readers, because I don't want to forget, on every single plan, including that first-time author plan, which is free, $20 a year, okay, we do your customer support for you. So that is one of the major, huge benefits of being a nonfiction author with BookFunnel, is you don't have a lot of time. You may not have technical expertise. Readers have a plethora of devices and a plethora of ways they can break their devices. So if that happens, if your reader has no idea how to get your PDF onto their Kobo back from 1986, I'm making things up, you send them to us. You just CC Jamie, send them straight to us. We walk them through it. We do all of the customer support for you on any type of technical issue, download issue like that. Now, if it's something with your sales platform related to like money changing or anything like that, you have to do that. And then two, if there is ever a problem with your content, like say they couldn't get your PDF loaded because maybe there's a formatting issue, we reach out to you and we let you know. A lot of times we'll let you know what needs to be fixed. We'll work with you to get that. So you're getting a lot of support too, not just your readers. And then multiple store integrations. We work with Shopify, PayHip, Gumroad. We recently introduced Fourth Wall, which I'm developing a new obsession over. First, it was the bestseller landing pages, and now it's going to be Fourth Wall. So you might want to check that out. And then WooCommerce, Thrivecart. So there's a lot of different options there for store integrations. And then if you do not have an actual store setup, but you do have a website, a lot of these platforms like PayHip and Shopify have plugins. So you can put the plugin in your website, your Wix website, your WordPress website, and then you can use that plugin to sell your books. And then we can still do the delivery actions through the plugin. PayPal, if you have an older account, and this is what I was going to mention too. So if you don't have a website at all set up, but you do have your BookFunnel landing pages, you can create a link, a payment link on PayPal, and you can embed it in the button on your landing page, and then that's your website, until you get started. And that's a great option if, again, you're building your platform, you don't have a lot of infrastructure set up, but you just want to get started. But caveat, you have to have an older account. In the last 3 years with the new accounts, they eliminated some of the data we need. So you have to have an older account for that to work. But PayHip and a couple other things, you can send them directly to a simple web page. PayHip takes about 5 minutes to set up. So print codes. Print codes are another fabulous tool, and these are great for in-person events. So you can sell digital books at live events, and you just generate a CSV of codes. And I always advise that you print them off on labels. So you can just peel the label as you go. And if they expire, all you're wasting are the labels. Instead of like the pretty gorgeous brochure you made and then pasted the label too, don't do that. So keep the labels on the thing until you're ready. So you can sell your books, and then you can fulfill them through the print code right then and there. They go to a landing page and they input the print code, and it's delivered digitally. So they can literally be standing right there when you give them the print code and get their book. And then of course you can also use it to upsell print books. So if you have print books and you want to give them access to bonus material or something like that, you can place the business card with the print code in it, or the bookmark with the print code in it right there into the book, and then deliver that bonus content as well. But also, if you don't want to carry around a bunch of print or hardback books to conferences and things like that, these print codes, that's the way to go. Much easier to transport on a plane. And then you can upsell through your thank you pages. And I will demonstrate a little bit at the end how to do that. So at the end of an email sign up landing page, the reader is taken to an email. They go to their email, they get the email, they click on the link, and then they're taken to a landing page that says thank you. This is just like in MailerLite or MailChimp. After they sign up, the reader will get the thank you thing. We do the same thing. And this is more real estate for you to use. Embed links, embed images, upsell them. I don't see a lot of authors using it as they should. And I just want to get the word out. Use your real estate. So if you have a reader magnet, that thank you email can be upselling the next book in the series, or it can upsell the companion workbook, or it can upsell a one-on-one Zoom. There's a lot of things you can do. And it takes 5 minutes to set up, so why not? And then two, it can help you with conversion, because if you have a link embedded on there and you're tracking that link, then you'll be able to see how many people actually go through to click on the thank you page, and that'll give you a bit of idea about your conversion. Now, questions. Oh my God, that was fast. So we'll do questions and demo now. Let me go ahead and there we go. All right. So I'm going to take you all through the tools and landing pages I talked about. And I thought it would be better to do it all at one time rather than going back and forth. So this is the custom author theme. And I'll just go here. So you go to author themes, settings, author themes right here. You can click action, add a new theme. I already did one. But you can see here is that you can customize the different colors, the text. And what I like to do is upload a cover into, I already did one. So you can upload an image into the Canva color palette, and it will pull the colors right from your cover. This is great, especially if your cover is professional, it's on market, and then you can make sure that, your landing page is conveying topic, mood, brand appropriately. So you can do that. And it takes a couple minutes. I can spend hours tweaking like the saturation of one shade, and I have, but you don't have to do that. And then if you want to preview your book, you can do that. My thing is not letting me. Okay. And then save and close. And then this is where you can upload your logo. And again, one of those time savers, if you're a merging platform, Canva. Canva has a lot of templates. It's fast, it's easy, they look good. You may want something more custom, but perfect is like the antithesis of getting stuff done. Just get good stuff, good, solid, professional stuff done, which is where BookFunnel really comes in handy, because you could set up these landing pages really quickly. So you just upload your logo. And then the thing about these landing pages, these author themes, is once you set it up, you can one-click apply it to any landing page that you create. So again, you're saving yourself time. You took 1 hour to really think about the colors, your logo, and all of that, and then you don't have to think about that anymore. So let me show you okay, I want to show you an actual email sign-up landing page. I think I have them all for ARC. Okay, this is a simple download page. I have the ARC version up here because I wanted to show you all how you can use verbiage to recruit for an ARC. Now, if this was a regular newsletter, it would just say, get my reader magnet or join my newsletter. But for this one, this is an ARC. And then you just add a bit of verbiage here. By claiming this ARC, you're consenting to join the launch team, whatever you want, whatever the standard thing is. And then the blurb a little bit, and then you can include review instructions there as well. You can have them bookmark this page so they can come back and take a look at the review instructions again. And of course, once they're on your email list, you will email them reminders, but it's good for them to bookmark the page and go back. And then the links are not embedded right now, but you can embed all of these links, and then they just click on it from there. So simple download page, they can go right to read in the browser, or they can download the book and then they can get a code to go in the BookFunnel app. And watch the YouTube on the 5 reader magnets, because Jack did make me think of simple download pages in a different way. I like to collect emails, but sometimes you just want to get your magnet into as many hands as possible. And that's absolutely valid, because you can still collect email from the back matter of your book. So sometimes the goal is just to get it out there. And simple download page is great for that. This is the email sign up landing page part. And then you see it's a bit different. You can customize this verbiage. You just put in your name, and there we go. And they can read right in the browser, download right there. And then this is the thank you page. So they'll get to this thank you page from their email, and they'll also get it here. So again, I just kind of prettied it up a bit, and then I'm upselling my workbook, limited time, 50% off, because of course it is. And then next book in series, link to the social media. So you can see how you can use this real estate here to do more. And then, this button will have them download the EPUB again, just in case for whatever reason they didn't get it. There's that. This is called a private link. I should mention that. So these private links are generated anytime a reader enters their email address. That link is unique to them, so that gives you a bit of security. We'll go over this one later. I want to show you next, short audio. Okay, so I mentioned short audio earlier. This is short audio, and one of our landing pages with short audio, and you can embed the sample. Now, short audio is great for podcasting. Maybe you want to convert some of your YouTube talks, some of your longer form TikToks. Maybe you have music. I've seen authors, nonfiction. There are nonfiction authors on our platform. Well, I'm sorry. There are musicians on our platform, but that's nonfiction too. So we have musicians on our platform who deliver like their solo songs, or we also have music teachers on our platform who will deliver the music. I played violin growing up, and you know how they have the background music that you play along to. You can do that. So again, you can have your button here. You can put a bit of design into it. And then this image here, you can embed. Now, the thing is, with these images, and you've seen some of them on the other landing pages, this is what I was talking about, the bestseller level plan. You have to have the bestseller level plan in order to be able to embed these images. So that's something to keep in mind. Again, perfect is the antithesis of getting stuff done. So if all you can do right now is the first time author plan or the $10 a month mid-level plan, that's great. There's still a lot of functionality there. This is something to look forward to. It's really something to look forward to. I've crafted like so many iterations of this landing page trying to squeeze all of the juice out. So it's really functional. You can do a lot with them. I also wanted to show you how, if you're delivering a PDF, they can read it in the browser. So if you're worried about how they will read it digitally, they can read it in the browser. And then it can also be in their BookFunnel app. So if you have periodicals or magazines, you can deliver those with the BookFunnel app too, and they still get a fabulous reading experience. That is the AV. Private link. Where is my, we need the diamond. We need the diamond. Where is my, all right. This is where Emma frantically looks for her universal link. I think it's this one. Yeah, this is one. Because you want to see the sales landing page. All right, it's the universal book link, formerly known as the sales landing page. Again, you have to have the bestseller level plan to include the header. I throw everything at my landing pages. I'm kind of tacky. So some of you have a better aesthetic. You might not do all of this, but you can see how you can customize the buttons. And again, these buttons can go everywhere. Anywhere. And then you have all these different icons. This is just a sample of the icons available, the stores that you can link to. There are a lot more, but I got tired. So these are the ones I put in. You can opt to have your audiobook sample or your short audio here on the UBL too. And then special edition, you can tell them a little bit about the special edition, and you can send them right to your direct store. And then if you have the bestseller level plan and you have those pretty square graphics that show what comes in the special edition, this would be great real estate to put those graphics in, especially if you don't have a website. So again, and I was talking a lot about if you don't have a website, you can see how this UBL is really functional because you can embed the graphics. The graphics can go to multiple other platforms, brick and mortar platforms, online platforms. You have all of your book buttons. We deliver. And I'm having a brain freeze. There was something else I was going to say. I think about upselling your different graphics. But if I remember, I'll come back to that. I'm getting old. But this is the UBL page. And I think that was all I wanted to show you. Unless anybody wants to go a bit slower through any of these pages, I think we can do Q&A now or open demo.
Yeah, if anybody has any questions, you can go ahead and put those in the Zoom chat.
A little slower. I kind of went a little fast just so you can.
Emma, here we go. You got your first question from Taylor. Are some of these pages only available if you have the bestseller plan?
You get all of these pages on the mid-level plan and up. It's just on the bestseller level plan is where you can embed images. And let me just go ahead and show you real quick. So you see here the nuts and bolts kind of store links. You can fetch your links from books to read. But this is one of the sections you can embed an image on. Now, if you do not have a bestseller level plan, you will not have this button. I'm not sure if it's grayed out or if it's just gone, but that will not be there. And you will be sad. I will be sad too. And another thing about our BookFunnel landing pages, if you are arranging swaps and promos off BookFunnel in other groups, use your landing page because when they look at their link to see what they're going to be promoting, they're going to be like, ooh, that's so pretty. And you're going to be like, ooh, come join me on BookFunnel in our sandbox. So you're kind of low-key recruiting more authors into your genre, and the more the merrier. The more the merrier. So you can see all the store links here. Again, this is another text field. You can do whatever you want with this. I've spent hours playing around, putting this in the other text fields and things like that. All of the links. So you see that everywhere. Everywhere. We'll do the what platform did Damon forget challenge.
Well, I mean, there's certainly like dozens and dozens that are here, perhaps. But another question here from Lisa. I put an image on a landing page and was never able to change it. I think that's because I'm on the free plan. Lisa, that would be, I don't know, I think that would be something that you might want to send our way at BookFunnel support.
Yeah.
So I would send those to us, send that link to us so we can take a look at it and maybe see what happens to be going on with that landing page, because that shouldn't be happening.
It could be that if you haven't changed your cover, because usually it's the cover that appears on a landing page, and so you'll want to go to the book and check and see if that is what needs to change out.
That's one possibility, actually. But we can take a look at it and see what might be going on for sure. So thanks. Oh, go ahead, Kelly. Sorry.
Oh, I was just going to say, Simon is asking, like, to be honest, I can't see the difference against a regular URLs. Can you just clarify on that?
Yeah. So, Emma, can you show?
Talking about this one? Do you literally mean the URL or like the style of the landing page?
So I think the question might be simply like maybe a use case for a universal book link. So if you can show a universal book link page with all the buttons. So obviously it depends on where you are sending readers from, right? So in some cases, readers might be, especially if you're only on one store, you might be sending readers to Amazon from like the back matter of a book or something like that. However, the universal book link allowing you to link to multiple stores is very useful if you're wide. So if your books are on multiple platforms, you share one link with those readers, right? So if you have a link you're posting in your newsletter or a link on your website to where they can go find the books for purchase, and your book is available on multiple stores, a UBL is useful for that because as you can see, if you scroll down to show all the buttons, I can send them to one place and then they can choose the store that's right for them. From there. In addition to that, you get a little bit more control over the user experience aspect because they're coming to this landing page before they're going to whatever store they're going to. So that's what I would say there. Obviously, you can use just the links to those stores, but in some cases, it's more efficient to funnel everybody to one page, and then from there they can choose what store they're going to. If you are on one platform, like if you're exclusive to Amazon, then some of that use case isn't quite there because it's just one link that you're sharing anyway. So that's totally true. However, there's still the customization aspects of the universal book link page. You can make it look however you want, customize that experience before they wind up on Amazon
and get distracted.
Yeah, you have some control over that you don't necessarily have on Amazon. That being said, you do want to typically reduce the number of total clicks before somebody gets to purchase your book. So you want to weigh that. Yeah, it's more the customization and the flexibility that make it useful.
And even if you are like in KU or you're just on Amazon, again, you can customize these buttons. Maybe you want to send them to your Patreon, or maybe you want to cross promote another email sign up landing page. You can put whatever link you want. And this can be, what is that? Linktree thing. So this can be like a workaround Linktree.
Yeah,
really.
you can also use it in that way as well.
Link it like that, use it like that. So there are a lot of, and I encourage you all to sit down and really think like, how can I make money with this page? And you'll come up with a lot of different ways it can be used. Like squeeze the juice out of that orange, man. Do it.
Right. We have a question from Brenda. Will the UBL send the reader to the relevant country's marketplace for Amazon Canada, Amazon UK, Amazon US?
Okay, here we go. This is how it works. So you can, I just selected a few, but they can click on the drop down and it will send them there. Whatever is in that text field is where they will go. So if you place, let me just show you. Let me show you.
Should be
Doing. There we go. So whatever you put in here is where the icon will go to, and then you can select like the stores and things like that.
So you can add those country stores to the
I did not show you all the stats too, because you get where are my stats? Oh yeah, you have to close it. There we go. You get click stats. So whenever they click on the button or one of the links, it will give you stats. And oh, that's why I was doing the A/B page. So I was playing around with the idea of an A/B landing page to A/B test like different covers. This is a UBL. This is the ebook button, and this is like the paperback button. But again, you can do whatever you want with them. So you can send people here, be like, hey, for fun, which cover do you like? And if you have the bestseller plan, you can put these covers in there. They can be clickable, so you can send them to where they're available, but then they can also click on here and vote. And then you'll get that stat right back in your, you'll get that stat right here. It'll say ebook. So you'll have to remember that whatever you labeled as the ebook is this, but there are a couple different interesting ways you can use these, especially if you're on a budget and you don't want to have a bunch of different tools and platforms. Yeah.
Lisa did have a question here. I thought you could not sell your book on other sites if in KDP Select. Did I get bad information? No, Lisa, you did not. I'm sorry if it was confusing there when we were talking about universal book links. If your book is enrolled in KDP Select, then the ebook cannot be sold on other platforms. So that is correct. The audio and paperback, though, aren't bound by the terms of KDP Select. That would be one use case if your book is in KDP Select. The ebook may only be available on Amazon, but your paperbacks and your audiobook versions may be available wide. And so a universal book link can show all of those in one place. So even if you are enrolled in KDP Select, being able to show the different formats of your books on one page is also useful in that respect too. But no, you weren't incorrect.
Yeah, and I just want to mention, because you say except for my own website, you actually can't sell it on your own website as well. If you are in KDP Select, it is exclusive to Amazon. So you cannot put it on your own site or any other way of distributing it. So just, yeah, be really careful with that.
Yep. No, yes, your own website is a part of that as well. Excuse me.
Okay. So Linda's asking, what email product do you recommend now? I'm
guessing she means email service provider or not.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking.
Kelly and I both have Flowdesk. I have MailerLite Flowdesk. I'm switching to Flowdesk because I'm tired and my eyes are getting old, and Flowdesk's interface is so sweet and simple, just simple. That said, MailerLite has more robust tools for like sequencing and automations, but there's enough of that in Flowdesk that I haven't encountered a strong reason to go back to MailerLite yet. So you could still do the automation sequences. You can still send them to other sequences if they click on a button or an image. You can still do things like that. And that's really all you need starting out, is the ability to just keep them embroiled forever in your platform. They're never getting out. So if you build up your sequence robust enough, they can be there for a couple of months.
And there are other mailing list services that we do, like that we integrate with. And MailerLite is very popular. It's very has a lot of wide use out there. MailChimp as well, just because it's been around for so long. So if you're not sure and maybe you haven't gotten to that stage yet, or you're kind of exploring, a lot of these various services also have usually a free plan where you can sign up and kind of just play around. So Emma's showing here some of the list of services that we integrate with. So Active Campaign, Email Octopus, MailChimp, Klaviyo, which we recently added, and so forth. So there's a lot of them out there. You might find that you prefer one over the others. I personally use MailerLite. I have nothing against Flowdesk at all. Just haven't tried it out. I'm kind of enmeshed in MailerLite too. And so that's the one thing, is that when you've been using one platform for so long and you're used to it, the idea of like switching to another one can be really like, man, I'd have to redo a whole bunch of automations and stuff. So that can be tricky. So you do, if you're at the beginning stages, you kind of want to experiment with them, test them out, see which ones you like. And in particular, if there's a mailing list service platform that like just makes sense to your brain. So I used MailChimp at one point in time for whatever. I know a lot of people swear by MailChimp and love it, and that's totally fine. I personally found it was clunky to me. And when I switched to MailerLite, it just made more sense. It was organized in a way that made sense to me. Now that said, MailChimp might make total sense to you, and that's fine. You don't know that unless you test them all out. I've also in the past have used Constant Contact. I found Constant Contact very easy to use. It was a while ago that I did that. That was in another life, in a past career, but I have experience with it. Also have experience with ConvertKit. For those of you who don't know, I'm the one who sends you the BookFunnel bulletin most of the time. Sometimes it's not me, but most of the time it is me. And we do that through ConvertKit for BookFunnel. It's just the platform that BookFunnel happens to use. That's not an endorsement or anything. We just happen to use them. So I'm familiar with some other platforms, and they're all kind of different in the way that they manage things, the way that you edit things. Even some of the terminology is different. So you might get into one platform and it just doesn't make sense. And you're sitting there blinking at the screen, like, what am I looking at? And for you, that might be MailerLite. For me, it was something else. And there you go. So yeah, check them out, try them out, see what fits best.
I was at MailChimp, same thing. It was kind of clunky, it worked well though. I mean, I didn't have any issues with it. It just wasn't, my brain didn't love it. And then I'm still in the process of finishing my Flowdesk integration, because I, don't want to let go of MailChimp before I know I have everything to transfer over. So I will be working on that, and I think probably by next month I'll be really sure that I got all those links out there somewhere, that I shared, my forms to sign up for my newsletter. Probably I already changed out my books, but and that was a big task, and I don't have that many books. So if you have a lot of books, changing is a lot of work. But yeah, I just trying to get all of that situated, and then I can let go of MailChimp and stop paying for it, and then use Flowdesk. And I write romance, and so Flowdesk just appealed to me just aesthetically, because it has a lot of really great, like, their templates and stuff or have that kind of a pleasing like aesthetic
Sure.
that I liked. So may not work for maybe some of the nonfiction folks here that are, depending on what you're writing or what you've been working on.
Own stuff. Yes. I know I didn't mean to directly contradict you there, Emma. I personally don't. It depends on how comfortable you are with email design. That would be the one caveat. Like, if you really know what you're doing and you have a design in mind, then go for it. But yeah, if you're not sure, then yeah, go with one of the templates and then build off of that. Michelle here does have a question. Does BookFunnel have any integrations with Go High Level? Michelle, I'm not familiar with if that's a platform. Maybe you can clarify in the chat. But we do, if that's the name of a platform, we do not have integration with them. Maybe you can provide more information. So Lisa says, I received bad advice. I was told not to use templates. So it's been a long learning process. And I think
Oh yeah.
it can be. However, if you have the time and the willpower to learn all of that and all the aspects of email design, then I think it gives you have a few more skills and you're more comfortable with doing a variety of different things. But that being said, for most people, yes, templates are a good place to start. And then oftentimes those templates allow you to customize them and tweak them. And then you can kind of learn it that way too. So don't worry about it, Lisa. I wasn't trying to be elitist or anything like that or judgmental. Just we have to poke fun at each other here.
Oh, Michelle is saying that the Go High Level is a one platform funnel for books, courses, etc. Okay, so yeah.
Yeah. No,
I
we
can
don't.
add that to the list of, suggestions and see if that's something that, down the way, if we could integrate. We always take requests for that if you have something.
Yeah, absolutely. Cool. All right. Well, I'm not sure that I think we are out of questions here, unless anybody has any more. Emma, I'm gonna hijack your screen sharing in just a second. Because I have a couple of things that I want to announce here for everybody. For starters, some of you may have noticed our different format today. Doing all of our sessions in one day. We typically have in the past spread them out over the month. However, we did them all on one day this time because we're trying to make a few changes to our format, and we wanted to bring you guys more sessions. But here at BookFunnel, we all wear a lot of hats. We are not a big company, just so you guys know. There's about 10 or 12 of us, all told, between some contractors we have working for us and then those of us on the team. We are not a huge faceless corporation that treats you like a number, right? We all know all of us could fit into one room together here at BookFunnel. And so what that means is, like I said earlier, I do kind of manage the webinars, but I also I'm the one in charge of sending our bulletin, and I am also in charge of the YouTube channel. And Kelly and Emma help out with the Facebook groups, and they're also in support, and I'm in support too. And we're all over the place. So we're doing a lot of things, which we're totally fine with, by the way. But we wanted to bring you guys more stuff. More different types of content in addition to workshops and webinars and Q&As. And so we are going to be changing our format for our webinars to be one day a month. Understanding for some folks, this might not be as convenient as the weekly webinars we have been doing in the past. Totally understand that. Couple things, keep in mind. The replay links are always made available. They're always posted on YouTube. We don't hide those or keep those behind a paywall or something. If you can only make it to a few sessions that day, you can still sign up through Calendly. And what I have here are actually the sessions for next month. This is for March 5th is what I have up here. And you can sign up for these right now. I'll, in fact, drop the link here in the Zoom chat so you can check this out. Oh, I beat you to it, Kelly. But these are the sessions for next month, and we may actually be adding one or two more potentially, so we can bring you lots of stuff on that day. You can sign up for the events even if you can't make it live. There are options also to submit questions in advance so that if you're not there live, you can still get your questions answered in the Q&A. So that's the idea. We are calling this BookFunnel Live. This is the new format, and it's got a name now. It's official. BookFunnel Live is going to be the first Wednesday of each month. With a few exceptions. July might be one of those, right? But it's going to be the first Wednesday of each month. And we're going to try to bring you multiple different topics for beginners, people who are intermediate. So we have our BookFunnel Beginners Q&A. That's going to be every time. So beginners can come and get their questions answered. We're going to try to do some different themes. We actually talked about having somebody from reader support come in on that BookFunnel Q&A so we can answer a few questions specific to reader support. We're going to be doing a workshop on automating your ARC team. This one is going to be a ton of fun. I have some really interesting ideas for you to use primarily on the automation side and using restricted pages and how you can automate an entire sequence so that readers can review the books in your series and just get them automatically and write reviews for all the books in your series or all the books that you have. We're going to be doing a webinar as well on deciding which direct sales platform is right for you. Of course, we recently added Fourth Wall, which has got a lot of people looking at their current direct sales platform and going, Fourth Wall doesn't look too bad. It has a lot of interesting features in addition to being a merchant of record, which is great for tax purposes and tax remittance and that sort of thing. And so we're going to go into the details on all those direct sales platforms so you can see, okay, what looks good, which one is a good fit for me. And then we're actually going to be bringing in a special guest. I can't say yet because we have to get a couple things ironed out, but we have a special, I really wish I could tell you who it is because I'm really excited about it. Y'all might not be as excited as me, but I'm very excited. And they're going to be sitting down with Damon Courtney, the founder of BookFunnel, to have a little chat live, and you guys can show up and ask questions. And like I said, we might have even a couple more segments that we add on that day for March 5th as well. So that's what's coming up. We're going to be doing one big event at the beginning of the month. Again, understanding for some folks that might not be as convenient. We do the best that we can. All right. Time zones are tricky. I know today we had folks who were in the earlier sessions from the UK, from Germany, from New Zealand, from all over the place. And really thankful that you guys join us here for these live webinars. I know time of day might be crazy for some of you guys. For me, it's like a quarter to 1 p.m. in the afternoon. So for you, it might be a different time. I know that it can't be convenient for everybody, and not every time can be convenient for everyone, or the date even. And that's why we really want to help support you guys with the replay links and all of that stuff. So all that's still there. It's not going away. But BookFunnel Live is the new format for our live webinars and events, which hopefully means we're going to actually bring you guys more stuff. We have more interesting stuff, and it should be good in the long run. So you guys are the first to know. And this has not gone out to anybody in the bulletin. We have not announced this in the Facebook groups or anything like that. This is just to those of you who attended today. I did make one announcement at the beginning. For those of you who were here for our workshop about adding images to landing pages, if you visit this page, if you happened to be there, I borked the Canva links. I'm very sorry about that. I have fixed them. They are all right here in the description if you scroll down. Right. So those 3 templates that I was going to share with you guys that I totally screwed up, they are there in that spot. So you can find them there now. They'll also go out with an email with the replay link to anybody who might have missed them. Or if you want to email support, I can provide them there too, so you guys can find it there as well. But there you go. BookFunnel Live. Thank you guys for joining us today. Thank you, Emma, for Emma. This is your first webinar that you've done. We're branching out. Other members of the team here. I know Kelly and Emma have both helped with some of our orientations in the past and run those for me, like when I was sick and stuff. But this time around, Emma stepped up and she's like, I have an idea for a topic. And so here we are. So you'll see the other members of the team doing some of these webinars and everything as well. I want to thank you guys for joining us today. I hope you guys have a great rest of your day. If you need any help with anything else, please feel free to reach out to us, support@bookfunnel.com. We hope to see you next month for the first official BookFunnel Live on Wednesday, March 5th. It's going to be a blast. We'll see you guys. Have a good one.
Thank you for watching. Check out these other videos from BookFunnel, and don't forget to subscribe to the channel.